Hello YouTube. Tonight I just wanted to pose to you a question. Changes, are they good or are they bad? Now, everybody has to deal with changing factors in their life, whether they affect them directly, such as traumatic things like a death, or even just getting good grades for once in school, or even things that always happen, like yearly, say. Like a birthday, that's still a change. It's something that's new, it's something that isn't happening prior to it. There are also factors that don't really affect you personally, but still they do affect the world in some manner. Things such as disasters, catastrophes, or even just good news. But anyways, I'll get on with my little segment here, and I'll start off by going over the classic pros and cons of changes. Well, first off, I'm going to go over all the, first off, all the disadvantages and advantages of changes I'm going to go over, but everything that I'm going to deal with is going to be historically sound, and also it's going to deal with current events also. Just so that you know, I'm using things from all eras. Just sort of common changes, things that always happen no matter what the history was, what the culture was. They're just things that simply occur. Anyways, you'll understand when I get into it more. First off, current events, say, things that we've just had to deal with quite a bit more during modern day. I wouldn't say than other days, but still, it's been something that's been a lot more in our face. For example, war, changing government, those sort of things. War, first off, that's a huge change. It's brought about because of disagreements between two political sides, most of the time. There are also a whole bunch of underlying reasons for all of that sort of stuff, but I'm not going to go into that. The thing about war, though, is it started to try and solve problems, or to simply just gain power. Now, the first one, while it may seem benevolent, it never happens. Almost never. I don't think that you could come up with one war in the past 100 years that has actually solved more problems than it's created. Take, for example, World War I. The Treaty of Versailles. What was supposed to sort out all the problems that the war had sought to fix, I guess, in the end. Or these problems were what caused the war in the first place. Those problems never really got solved in the Treaty of Versailles. That was simply a war treaty after everything had been done over, the war was gone in the past. They were trying to get rid of the problems that initially started it and partially drove it as far as it went. Problem was, none of those problems got solved. All the problems are still modern day problems, and in fact the treaty just added on more troubles to modern day society. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but still, it's something that if you want to, you can look up. Anyways, government. Changing government. That is an excellent thing. Just think about it this way. Can somebody stay in power for a decade and still maintain the same sort of personality and respect about themselves? Can they drive a country and rule it the way that it should be done? Or will they just want more power by the end of the decade? At some point they're going to get greedy. They're going to become corrupt. It is, I'm not going to say inevitable, but it's very close to it. You would have to have quite a benevolent leader to be able to rule for 10 years and still maintain his initial platform and lead the way he should be leading. So, changing government, that's a good thing. War always works out bad, no matter what. Problems don't get solved, blood is spilled constantly, nothing but conflict occurs from that. Anyways, moving on. Technology, something that is always advancing, even historically. Simple technology just got better. It was still simple, but it just kept on getting better. Now that seems like a good change, yes. However, modern day society, the types of technology that we're coming out with are very controversial. Say for example cloning. It's very hard to say if a change like that is wanted or completely unwanted. Also the nuclear bomb. That was a change that I don't think the world was ready for in any way, and I don't think that we're happy with the whole situation of the world now concerning nuclear weapons. And by that I mean the fact that most countries have them, we're just on standby. If anybody fires one, it's just not good from there. That's going back to war though. But anyways, technology as it advances becomes good. Life becomes better, but at the same time it also becomes more tense. Fear starts to arise, corruption because of the technology, and also the want to gain better technology before others, certain people. Usually in the government that just deals with, I'd like my country to have better technology than your country. So again, technology, it's very iffy. It's not really a pro or a con. It's good and bad. Same as current events, like I said. But one that always seems to be a good one is sort of natural aspect of of change. So first off, you have evolution. Simply, evolution just improves a species. Things evolve because they aren't quite fit to be living where they are, or they could be living better. It's essentially a simple explanation of what it is. So, humans, we evolve because we aren't quite comfortable where we're living, and I see that as a good thing. I'm sure that there could be bad things derived from evolution in the perspective of change, but still, overall it is quite a good thing. Another thing, this will also be kind of controversial, but overall you have to understand it is a good thing. Life and death. People will get born, which obviously seems like quite a good thing. Death. People will die, which again, while this doesn't seem right off the bat as a good thing, the problem is people need to die. If nobody ever died, our world would be completely overpopulated. Things need to eventually die. It just can't keep on going on forever. Plus, the other thing is, ask yourself this question. If you had the choice between a meaningful mortality, one that you actually got something out of life and you, although it had to end at some point, you still enjoyed it so much, or immortality, where life would eventually become bland, you wouldn't have anything else left to do, you would start turning to things that you once thought were taboo, which may not be a bad thing, but at the same time, regardless of what you did, you would eventually get bored of life, and either end up accepting your boredom and complete staleness of reality, or you would end up killing yourself. That doesn't seem like good choices to me. So anyways, life and death, both very good things. So, overall, with the pros and cons, since current events and technology are very iffy, both sides could be taken. However, natural changes, those seem to be very good. Things that we couldn't do without. So, overall, change seems to be fairly good.